Welcome to Ronathan Plays and Probes, where I bring you tabletop gameplay, commentary with insights, analysis, and opinions. Without further ado, let's get into today's video. Alrighty folks, welcome to my channel. This is Ronathan Plays and Probes, and I'm here to introduce myself to the Ashes community. I'd like to apologize for the background. We are currently experiencing a heat wave in Los Angeles, so this is the only cool room in the house where I can get good lighting and air circulating. So if you could bear with me, that would be awesome. First and foremost, I am a Dice Masters player, if you can tell by the content that is on my page. But I'm looking to get into the Ashes Gate and dare I say it, bring you bi-weekly content that includes gameplay as well as documenting my journey into this game as well. The other game that I play is Star Wars Destiny, #RIP. Since it has been canceled by Fantasy Flight Games, my local Destiny group here in Los Angeles, we've been looking for another competitive game to get into. And they decided to get into this. And while I was watching them, and their reactions like, oh, they're relaunching the game with Team Covenant and Plaid Hat Games, that started to pique my interest. And that is exactly why I wanted to get into this game. And it's specifically this PDP model, this player-driven production subscription model. What they're doing is they're upgrading the rulebook, revising 30% of the existing card pool, and releasing cards or releasing these packs every 3 months. Which for me, like, hey, the content is already out there, but they're going to be releasing all this new stuff to revise the game. And that to me is really important, that after a game has died and a company realizes the potential, like, hey, you know what, with some tweaks, this game could have been something, why don't we revise it? And luckily they were able to find a community or a group that can resurrect the game by partnering with the original company that owns the IP to re-release or rebalance the game and try to make it accessible to not only a bigger audience, but most importantly, eliminate those negative gameplay experiences that are caused by mechanics. To me, that is huge, realizing like, hey, you have this awesome game that's out there, but now you have this fundamental flaw once you open the floodgates on a particular mechanic, and that game is just like, could be done and could turn away a bunch of folks. I know that that's what happened initially during the second block of Destiny, where certain mechanics were opened up, and then that just turned away some of the original people. So I'm glad that this is actually happening, and this has given me a reason for me to put my money to Team Covenant and have this subscription sent to my house. So I'm really excited about this. But the other thing that I also wanted to do is also just touch a little bit on the Destiny group out there. Destiny was my second love, and I'm actually hoping that a PDP model can move forward with Destiny. Now, they already got a bunch of groups out. They got a group out there that's dedicated to bringing new content, creating new cards, and I feel that that is awesome. I really want them to continue to drive forward with that, and it's helpful that, hey, Fantasy Flight decided to release some print and play at home even though the game is dead. But I think the question that I want to put to the Destiny community out there is, would you be willing to invest in a Destiny game that has the mechanics and the engine, but it's just not Star Wars related? For example, if Fantasy Flight used Arkham Horror, or if they used Keyforge, or what if they created an entirely new IP space lore for this game? I think that that's something that I'd be willing to invest in. I think for me, when it comes to games, the first thing I look to is concept and mechanics, how the game engine runs, and second for me is the IP or the lore. Now, I'm not going to say that the IP or the lore doesn't make a difference, because it absolutely does. If I have one thing on one side that's kind of equal to another, and then maybe this has like a Marvel skin or a Star Wars skin, I may go with the IP that I know. So that's just food for thought. I'm not saying that the Destiny group has to go with that, but maybe these are ideas for dead games that we like going forward, that, hey, maybe this can happen. Speaking of other IPs, and dice games, I just want to plug in Dice Masters. This is a game that I really enjoy and love. So if you Phoenix Born out there are looking for another dice game to play while we're waiting, since we have all this time on our hands with quarantine, I'd say give it a shot. It's like a chess match. It's a game of chess where it goes back and forth, where Magic the Gathering meets deck building in dice form. So that's one way that I would describe it. It's really fun. Kind of reminds me of like when a football coach would describe to me the game of football. Hey, it's a simple game with complex issues, and you can make Dice Masters as complicated as you want it, or you can make it or you can simplify it as the way you want it. So I think it has great levels of entry for all players, and you can find them. I suggest these campaign boxes up here. Be over there. One of these. I suggest the campaign boxes. You can get them for around $30 or less if you find the lucky one, and you can go with any IP that you want. We got Marvel, DC, Warhammer, Dungeons and Dragons, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and WWE. So you have your pick of the litter, and I hope you can have fun with that. But now back to Ashes. Again, I want to thank you for watching my video, and I'm looking forward to figuring out which Phoenix Born that I like and which my playstyle is going to be, and I look forward to bringing you content in the future. Thank you very much. One final thought I want to know is, what type of Ashes content do you want to see? I enjoy playing games, but you, the viewer, can help shape and drive the Ashes content that I put out on this channel. Are we talking gameplay, analysis of games, decks, news, tabletop nonsense, and interactions? Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and thank you for your time.
Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.